Well, I've literally just walked out the negotiating room, so and my fellow officers are still in there. So I'm trying to desperately ensure that I give this a balanced answer to that question, and not necessarily the last 10 minutes, which may or may not have gone very well. I think in general, this week, the tone seems to have changed a bit. I do get a sense that people are genuinely working hard to try and get closer together on what we would want to agree. I think it's helpful that some of the periphery issues of monthly pay, sick pay and all those sort of things have been removed. I think that's been useful in so much as us being out of target in the key issues. But it is intense. There is, the stakes are incredibly high, and the talks will, without question, there won't be an agreement today. The talks will continue next week. I would say the biggest obstacles are bringing us back together philosophically. Our belief is that philosophically the business have moved away from the mutual interest culture defined by our growth and stability legally binding agreement. So it's for us, we're trying to ensure that employment, standard of living and retirement, pension security is there for everybody. So absolutely not pulling up the ladder on the young workers or the next generation. It's a key part of our talks. Well, fundamental that those people are protected. The same with part-timers. Some of the debates we're having around pay here and about the need in this, whatever pay deal we do now and whatever length of period, one of the things that's got to be in there is that we resolve this issue about part-timers' annual leave and not getting their average pay when they go on leave, and how part-timers are treated, and the fact that part-timers who want more hours, that are doing regular extra hours, are not being offered enhanced hours of contract in line with our agreement. So all of those issues, some of them very current, but they are also important principles going forward, given that the initial proposals from the employer seem to suggest we were going to set new standards and have two-tier type of arrangements for the next generation of workers, be they full-time or part-time. So coming together philosophically on that is a major sort of barrier. Another one is about the design of the business, the pipeline, and the sheer fact that what the union is saying it will not accept is a cheaper pipeline. And I know this is difficult, sometimes people say, what does it really mean? I suppose in a nutshell, our belief is what management is saying is that they want to shift everything later, the whole pipeline. That enables them to respond to later arrival patterns for parcels because of the demands being placed by customers in parcels now. But actually, when you drill down, it's not just about a later LAT for a percentage of parcels they may gain. This business is already the biggest parcel operator in this country. What it's really about is by moving that pipeline or that operational network later, there's substantial savings that can be gained. We believe that clashes with not only our social obligation, but also our desire to grow this business and have actually a greater capability of offering right across the day, if not right across the 24 hours, because we genuinely believe that's where our future competitors are heading as well. So, philosophically on the design of the company is a major obstacle at the moment. Because clearly the company is seduced by the amount of savings by the cheapest possible pipeline, and we're obviously trying to thrash that out as well. Also, workplace culture is something that's key. So in these negotiations, we're trying to deal with the future, but we're also trying to deal with some of the immediate concerns, because there's no point in getting words on a piece of paper yet again, but if there is no tangible evidence of us trying to make a difference with some of the issues that are seriously troubling our workplace culture and turning it into a high pressure, stressful, not very enjoyable place to come to work. And we're saying we've got to address that now. There's got to be some tangible things that people can feel that there's a different attitude if we're genuinely going to work together, then they've got to see management and the union working together at that local level, in every single function, in every single part of the Royal Mail Group, to ensure that mutual interest is being applied and our agreements are being applied in terms of resourcing and quality of service. You know, it's unacceptable that we've got so many offices, we believe, that, and that's not necessarily agreed between both parties, but we believe, backed up by photographs and evidence we've received, that we're failing quality of service and mail is not being delivered to the customer as a consequence of bad practice in resourcing or other issues. So, you know, if we both disagree on that, then we've got to find a way of finding fact from fiction and dealing with it. I think that's the main thing, is tangible evidence that we haven't just come up with words, we are physically dealing with the immediate problem and the challenges going forward. I think the support around the country has been absolutely fantastic, and I mean, we've always had a loyal membership, but we knew right from the off in the campaign for the 4 pillars and pay, etc., that we had to talk to our people, we had to engage, we had to get out there, and we had to, you know, try and put our case and ask them to buy into it, that they understood the reasons and the rationale for why the union was taking a certain position. So we didn't rush it, so I wouldn't say I'm totally surprised, because there's been a considerable effort, you know, from everybody, from all levels of the union, from the national executive, from our divisional reps, our branch secretaries, our regional secretaries, area reps, then the local reps. We've spent the last sort of 18 months talking to those people and engaging them, and also getting into the workplace. They have got into the workplace and they've done their job. I mean, it's a fundamental part of a trade union that you cannot take your membership for granted. You've got to get in there, you've got to engage with them, you've got to speak to them face to face, and you've got to win the arguments. If you want to win their respect, then you've got to win the arguments. And I think that our case does win the argument, and I think Royal Mail are now seeing that. I think when they're going around into the workplace, whatever their senior managers have been told, as a consequence of things like the big conversation and you know, employment surveys, employee surveys, whatever they've gained from that, I think when they actually go into the workplace and talk about these issues we're talking about, I think they can see there is absolute solid support and understanding of the CWU membership, and that we're absolutely determined to make sure that when we step into the future, if we're going to do that jointly, then we've got to have confidence that the security on the issues we're talking about, and that the fundamental approach that our business takes is still one which is consistent with the agreement we made, the Growth and Stability Agreement, with its legally binding commitments. Well, what you have to do is continue to inspire us. You know, the determination of the national officers in the talks and the postal executive is without question. But you know, we need to know we got the support, and certainly my assessment is, if anything, the support is growing. It's not plateaued; it's growing. So we want you to, you know, engage with the membership. If you're a rep, if you're a member on the floor, talk to each other. You know, discuss the issues that we're trying to move forward, talk about them in the round, not just one particular issue, and increase the understanding of why it's so important what we're doing. I mean, I said the stakes are really high, and they are. So, and the union is making a considerable effort, and I believe I'm right in saying we're probably going further than any other trade union at the moment in terms of the way we're trying to communicate, the new ways we're trying to communicate with our members and our reps. So you've created, or we have created, if you don't know, we've created WhatsApp lists, an app on your phone that you can get information extremely quickly. So, but you need to find out, or speak to your branch, you need to get on those WhatsApp lists, whatever they are, to get that information. Follow the social media, the Facebook and Twitter. You know, there's so much going on out there. Keep sending in your photos of members' meetings and support, because that inspires everybody else. So, you know, if anything, the activity has got to increase. I would say the one thing that when we set out, we was determined not to do is to underestimate in any way, shape or form the intelligence of our members and the workforce. And I think management in some ways have underestimated, not intelligence, I suppose, just in your intelligence to understand the issues, but I think they've also underestimated how strongly and passionately people feel about this great business, Royal Mail, and how they don't want they don't want to see it destroyed, not just their own jobs, but the whole business itself destroyed by the agenda of greed. You know, minimise costs, maximise profits at the cost of everything else. Our membership don't want that. I think they understand that's what we're trying to protect. We're not just selfishly trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to protect the public that we serve and have done for all these years. So, you know, this is a really key moment in our history. The stakes are very high. We are absolutely determined. We are nowhere near over the line yet. There's still a lot of work for us to achieve an agreement. Without question, any progress we've made thus far isn't because we're so brilliant as negotiators. I absolutely believe it's because of the massive support being shown by our members and our reps, our branches, our regions, divisions, and that has got to continue. We need that momentum to grow. And if it does, if these negotiations fail, then I come back to the point. It's absolutely crucial that everybody gets it in their minds that this is a time when you've got to pick sides. And we say to you, with absolute integrity, you either pick the CWU or forever going forward, you will accept less.